Hello everyone, I'm John Abel and welcome to the South Campus Show and the segment that we call Meet the Ministries. And of course I'm here with my little friend Arlo, and today we have a special guest, Jim Igel, and we'll be talking about a very important ministry called Communion Home Visits. And you may say, hey, we're in a little different room. Well, we've got our rummage sale going on upstairs, so we're here in the parish office. And Jim, thank you very much for joining me today to talk about...
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Oh, good. I know Communion Home Visits is a ministry where we have a number of people involved, and you've been a part of this, I guess, for how many years?
I think about 10, I think.
Oh, that's
For
awesome.
Sure.
Well, thank you for supporting it. And can you tell us a little bit about Communion Home Visits?
Well, we visit senior homes and some individual homes where people that can't get to church anymore. And so we go and bring them communion, and some of them, if they're very ill, we bring them communion or just say a prayer with them if they can't take communion. And so it's certainly very rewarding, and to see these people and go around, and you realize, when you're working all the years, you don't realize all the everything that's going on in these senior homes and some of the disabilities these people have and how they start to fail. So it's really enlightening to see what's happening, and it's great to be a part of that, to get in.
Well, Jim, I know that we as a parish are often trying to reach out to people in our community. And I know that Communion Home Visits goes in the area surrounding St. Victoria to Chaska and Carver and even Excelsior. And you don't work by yourself on these visits. Someone is with you?
No, we always have another person. And usually one of us will read and the other one will give communion. And sometimes there's a family member there and they can receive communion also.
Oh, nice.
And so it's great having two people. It's very comfortable.
Right. And I see you brought the little brochure. That's kind of your mask guide?
This is the brochure that we read out of, and we hand these out to everybody, and they can read the prayers that we have, and the gospel, and then the Our Father, and it's very simple for them to follow, and then the prayers before communion.
And Jim, you and the person that goes with you, who's also a St. Victoria parishioner, the amount of time you spend with the person, as well as kind of getting things ready here at church. Tell me a little bit about how much time you spend on a visit.
Well, it's usually about an hour and a half, and as we go to a few different places, and then we have two teams on Wednesdays, and they each go to different places, so you're not overburdened or any pressure. Yep. So it's usually about an hour and a half.
And so the visit with the people is maybe 15 to 20 minutes per stop?
Right.
Okay.
And we talk with them and make them comfortable.
Sure.
And most are they recognize you there, and they really appreciate it, and they say that again and again. Thank you for coming, and so we visit just a little bit for a few minutes and say the prayers.
So, Jim, how did you become interested in Communion Home Visits?
Well, I think I talked to a few people, and they said, come and join us, and it's been wonderful ever since. When once you realize that when you're in working force. I don't know if I mentioned that. You don't realize all this is going on.
Sure.
And once you realize you have some friends that have gone into a senior home or whatever, and they want somebody to talk to, and they want to have some spiritual life when they can't make it to church.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really it's been very rewarding. So.
Well, and I know that you go out on Wednesdays, like from noon to 1:30 or something like that, and this is done each week. Now, you wouldn't necessarily be assigned each week, maybe once a month or...
Usually once a month, and I know you send up and make out the schedules on the pairs that will go out together, and that's great, so you know ahead of time what's coming up.
Sure.
And there's always some flexibility in there if you have a problem, and somebody will be there to
substitute,
cover.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good. Well, I know that we have an opportunity for parishioners to get involved with communion home visits, and as Jim has said, it's about an hour and a half of your time on a Wednesday, maybe once a month, maybe twice, but we could certainly use more people to get involved with this. And I think, as Jim has said, it's something that is obviously important to the people that receive Christ, but also that you're the one that's giving that sacrament is humbling, to say the least. So, Jim, thank you for being here. But before we go, Father Bob started a tradition of answering a question from the magic hat. And
okay.
I'm sure you've probably been looking forward to this. It's a question that you haven't seen before, so Liz is extending the hat to you. And can you read the question?
It says, "What kind of reading do you like to do?" Well, I like to read a lot of aviation stuff because I flew for 30-some years.
Oh, wow.
A private plane, and so I like to read a lot of that. And I don't read as much as my wife used to read 4 books a week.
Oh, my.
And even though she was very active, but so I'm not a great reader of books. But
if it is, it's probably aviation related.
Yeah. That's mainly what I read.
Well, good.
And then the spiritual book that was handed out here, and I forget the name of it, but it has daily readings in it.
Yeah.
And
the Mother Teresa book?
Mother Teresa book.
Yeah, that's a great one.
And so that's good. So I always keep that by my table, and I can look at that and do those readings.
And by the way, we still have some of those Mother Teresa books here if anyone would like to have one. So, Jim, thanks so very much.
Well, you're welcome.
And I appreciate your time and your support of communion home visits.
Okay.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today on behalf of Little Arlo and all of us here at St. Victoria. We are grateful for the support you've given us to ministries like communion home visits. And we'll see you again next week. Blessings.